Thank you, D-Limes. And hello, hello, Limeates, viewers and supporters and enjoyers. Yes, I will be opening this marathon with Rise of the Tomb Raider, any percent glitch on the PC version. I think there is a lot of downtime during the run, so we'll just start, and I'll start explaining a few things mid-run, and I just say the run starts in 3, 2, 1, go. So first of all, we can see an FPS display in the lower left. It's in cutscenes, it's on 30 because that's just how most cutscenes work. All in all, it's on 100. Why is such an unspecific number of 100 instead of 60, what is like usually? Because some skips actually are only possible on that amount of FPS. That's the short TLDR answer I'll just say on this. First of all, we're on this mountain peak section. We just gotta follow Jonah, a friend here. If any questions come up, German is the fastest language. It's like 2 seconds faster than the second fastest language, which is Portuguese. Because for some reason, some languages just give you a slow walk in some sections, and German just has probably the least amount of those. So here Lara will slide down, we hang onto this thing, and actually go back to the main menu, which is necessary for the next skip. We will now go and continue, and hopefully this will work. Yes, so we are grounded for one singular frame, and if we do a lot of, well, rolls kinda, we're just bound to mouse wheel down, so it's nothing too precise. The game thinks we're grounded for a bit, and we're able to, well, just roll through the air, out of bounds, onto this mountain, and here we will skip a lot of things. We'll skip going up, back to Jonah, going through this cave. Here we need to get a little trigger real quick. We just jump into this thing, and we just jump out of it. We see in the lower right, I got a checkpoint. Now we're jumping more up. This skip will later have a very funny visual glitch as well, because we avoid a cutscene where Lara pulls down her hood basically, and because we will never see that, she will wear like 3 layers of hoods later on. I think at some part she will wear 4 of them. And what it is for, well, usually the speed games, this is like one of the hardest things, and it's of course right at the start. This is the part where the game can crash, and it didn't. That is the luck of Limeade. Yeah, the game sometimes crashes here. That's funny because before the game crashes, it gives you a checkpoint, and if this would be I just say a private run for myself, this timer is goes by IGT. And the timer stops during cutscenes and when the game is not boot up. So if the game crashes, the timer just pauses. Here we just need to swing back and forth a bit to get to that wall of ice. All in all, the story of this game is that Lara's father was someone who would like also go to caves and look for relics like Lara Croft herself. At some point, the media declared Lord Croft, Lara's father, for crazy and mad because he was very dedicated to find a relic which would give immortality basically. And our goal is to find the hidden city of Kitesh, and then find this relic eventually and prove that our father was right, and that the media declared him mad for wrong. Yes, here we will do a little glitch, this trick actually. But the game wants us here to just grab our axe, make the axe thing again, but we just slide down and get our axe out here. So we save a little bit of time here. Just going to Avoid falling down here. And that was the mountain peak section. Skipping cutscenes is also a bit finicky in this game. It's not like that I just wait until I can skip them. I need to press any button. I just preferably press E all the time. And when the skip shows up in the lower left, then I'm able to skip the cutscenes. So this is 2 weeks before the mountain peak section. We are in Syria now because there was a clue that would lead us to the mountain peak section on this part. Based off the things our father found already. Unfortunately, on our way, we have been attacked by a helicopter, which is where we're... Well, Lara's kind of dizzy. She's just kind of stumbling. Well, not stumbling, but she can't walk really well. Fortunately, because this is a video game, after this part we can walk all normally again. And also for accessibility, I've enabled the English subtitles with color as well, just to make it fun for as much people as possible, I'll just say.
Do we have a minute for a couple donations?
We do.
Alright, well, let's go through this quick. So we have 5 bits from House Tests, thank you very much. Let's Go Limeade. We have a few subs from Joseph Joestar 316, Iroquois Pliskin, and J93, thank you guys very much. And then we have some donations, $5 from House Test. Let's do something good for our friend and runner Jaguar King and his family. We have $20 from Beswick. We have $100 from Carrigs. And we have $50 from Pachuga. Thank you very much, everybody. That is insane. 175 bucks so far, and we're not even, what, 10 minutes in? That is ridiculous. Thank you, everybody.
That is very good support. Yes, we now broke this wall, and we see, wow, this is beautiful. Even with some birds flying around here. That's actually beautiful. Yes, unfortunately, we do not see any of this. We just do this usual parkouring we do in those Tomb Raider games. And we see a chopper again. It's always there. The first time we saw it, we didn't see it because it was in a cutscene, but now we see the menacing chopper. That might be a Hind D, but it might not be. We wouldn't know. There I messed something up real quick, but psh, we don't care about that, right? Okay, coming up to a very long loading gate. Well, it's not a usual it's not just a loading gate that the screen kind of goes black and it shows a loading circle. Just hold W for 30 seconds and well, just wait. So if there were any new ones, there would be again time for donations.
Well, we just got a 5-pack of subs in the chat. So thank you very much for that. From Coroni. I can't say that whole name, so I'm just going to say part of it. But thank you very much for the 5 gifted subs. Really do appreciate it. Now remember, all bits, subs, and donations are going to go towards Jaguar King. So every bit, every sub, and obviously every penny of the donation will go towards him. So we'll add that into the total at the end of the marathon. But thank you very much for the generosity.
So here we do a little IGT trick that we just reload the checkpoints. So Lara is on her feet instantly. And I will perform Syria skip. We are not skipping the entirety of this part, but we will skip a good part of it. So we'll just clip into this trap, then walk backwards as soon as we see the void, I just say. Avoid all the inbound section and just go right side here. This is a bit finicky because the water here might look like it might look like I can swim more far to the right. No, I'm on the very edge of this entire part. I can, if I go one step more to the right, I'll fall instantly, but this water just kind of tricks you, thinking that you can go more right. So normally there would be a few traps you would have to avoid. Lara would have to avoid drowning and all that. And with that, we just, well, we don't even see any of that. Here we need to reload the checkpoint because otherwise we would be captured in walking slow. Here we do something that's called ninja jump. With a sound timing, we just do a long jump to the right. And even there, it's just a skip that happened now. I jumped out of bounds, and then I went up a slope with the melee attack. Otherwise, I would just slide down there. But with the melee attack, it plays out the animation. And I was able to gain that much of height. Here we will also gain that much of height. So we can just skip that water riddle. So normally everything we see below, everything is full of water. We didn't do a single riddle of that. So here the game gives us 2 enemies. We just care to shoot one. If we shoot a second one, we'll trigger a mini cutscene, which doesn't matter, and we go out of bounds again with this one jump. Normally we would have to go to the left, but we can just go to the right and skip a lot of parkour. If you're too slow, you die. You see like the edges of the screen turn kind of grayish, which kind of symbolize that, oh, you don't have much time left. You should better get going. And if you take too long, and this is a very thin section, I just call it, one mistake can lead to your instant fail and checkpoint reset. This is one of the few cutscenes you cannot skip. There's just like 5 or 6 cutscenes that you cannot skip. But you can at least skip most of them, not like in Shadow of the Tomb Raider, which came out in 2018, where you cannot skip a single cutscene because every single cutscene is a loading gate. This game came out in 2015 and is the second part of the Tomb Raider reboot trilogy. So now we're in the today, like now we're right after Mountain Peak incident, I'll just call it. The avalanche happened. We avoided the cutscene where Lara would take off her hood, which is why we can see her hair through her hood because she never took it off. And later we'll see her hood being actually down, but another one on her head, so she just wears like 2 of them at the same time. Which is, well, it might be recommendable on a cold place like this, so we're just doing her a favor. Yes, very conveniently we've got a camp here. We've got some branches there in the end. And even further behind we have some bit of meat. Oh, well, it's not meat, but it's something else we can use. Mainly for upgrading our bow in a bit. Yeah, this is again a somewhat slow section. So if there are any donations,
yeah,
can go ahead.
One more gift sub from Macaroni, so that's 6 gifted subs now, or 1 for themselves, but appreciate it nonetheless.
That's very nice. So we see some wolves there. That is scary because we don't want to deal with wolves. Wolves are dangerous, especially if things are, well, we don't really have the weapons to fight those. Here the game expects you to hold W because the wind pushes you back. But if you let go of W and press it again, you walk at normal speed again. Because, again, the game doesn't expect you to let go of W. Alright, speaking of no weapons, we now are able to upgrade the bow. Gonna get the upgrade, which is Lightfoot. This is our main form of movement now. we'll just jump and make a roll. Jump and make a roll. Jump and make a roll. It's literally just that. It's nothing too special. Yeah, unfortunately the wolves are also instantly gone, just like the snowstorm. Also, because we don't want to mess with the wolves, we'll just do some axe climbing here. And, well, we have to decide kinda. For glitched, I guess. Either we take no wolves, or we take wolves and a bear. Actually, I lied, because I don't think, if I remember correct, of like glitchless, we don't even see the wolves normally. What we will see normally in glitchless, we will see some guards patrolling around, but at least we don't have to mess around with them. So this bear, his name is Ron, by the way, so say hi to Ron. We will not see him again later. Just gotta defend ourselves, because Ron had a bad day, I guess. There. Just a bit of... Well, I mean, good friends fight sometimes. They're friends. Lara and Ron are friends. There's nothing to be concerned about. There are again a few cutscenes. This is Lord Croft, by the way. Lara's father. Okay, we are wounded now. So we see in the subtitles, got to bound this wound. We need these healing resources. There, those leaves should stem the bleeding. We need those. Because if we get this box back there, which will give us free paper, we're soft locked. Because we do not have those herbs. Fortunately, because the game knows that, it gives us first the 2 or 3 papers, and then it gives us an herb right after that. Because the game knows, hey, if you don't have an herb, you will not be able to move anymore until you heal yourself. So the game gives you 1 herb, which is very lucky. Then we're just gonna do a checkpoint reset once we get this. So we're back here. We step on this stone. I mean. Make a back scramble, and we're going up. This is called an up clip, and for some of these, it will... Well, for 1 or 2 of these up clips is the reason we need 100 FPS, because some of those, they're all depending on your FPS. But for some of those are really, really finicky. So that's also the thing I meant. We have now 2 hoods on. One is still on our head. The other one is just... Oh well, it's down. It's there though. Yes, we once again just jump out of bounds because, I don't know, the developers maybe just missed a few invisible walls you can put somewhere. So we avoid a lot of enemies again, a lot of whatever. So we end up here, grabbing this lantern. We don't need to break this box, I just do it because why not? Destroy that barricade out of wood, and now we have a new weapon, which is a revolver. So we just break this glass, and with a roll, if we just jump at the end of the roll, we're just able to clip through the door. And we're gonna do the same thing again. So the game now thinks though we're at 2 places at the same time again. So once we pass through this gate, again, checkpoint reload. And we're going. So here we have a fence we can just grab through. And here, this electric box, where you can also just roll through. Here we just jump down into the river. We hear Lara actually make that death grunt she gets when she just falls down somewhere. Fortunately, we do not die here. And we just skip a lot of things again, so we get to the next part. So here again, melee attacks. because the animation will play out. And I slide down again. Yes, so this is what it then looks like. If you would not do it with the melee attack, you would just slide down. Because, well, that's just a collision. This part also looks very suspiciously that it would be something if we would be on this part of the game normally. I'll have to disappoint you. We will never enter this part. You see it when you're like back there still. You'll see Lara looking over here, but you'll never even enter this area. So yeah. And yet we can use this part to just go here. A few things spawn in and get that trigger, and now we're in the gulag. Performing one of the hardest tricks, and also that one up clip, I'll just say, where we would need 100 FPS. So first we're gonna get this thing, metal pipe sound, MP3 TikTok sound, I guess, I don't know. Break through the wall. We have some mate with us who says stuff like, no, do not escape, it will be bad, and you make sound, and that's not bad. So we're gonna get our bow, which is very conveniently right next to us, with some rope, which we will use later on. So this is gulag skip. Normally for up clips we benefit from the back scrambling, but since this is a slow walk section, I'm not allowed to run. So we need to do this trick with re-aiming, with very precise looking to a specific point and then looking back to a point, aiming, holding your directional keys in another specific point and all that. And if you don't have 100 FPS, you're not able to get it. Fortunately, we got it first try. And we also just had one of the 3 RNG factors, which loses 2 seconds if it's bad RNG. I collected one piece of wood, and it can give you either 1 piece of wood or 2. Good RNG obviously would mean that we would get 2 woods, but now we got 1, which is 2 seconds time loss. We'll have some RNG factor later on as well, which is, well, pretty much one of the last boss fights. So yeah, we need those wood pieces to craft some arrows. Can I squeeze through the door? Thank you. There we go through the... Up. We go through this fence again. Yeah, we really benefit... You can really benefit really much from just how poorly the... what's it called? Not collisioning. The polishing is. And there we see that guy who didn't want to escape actually can fight. He probably could have done it himself. And that is Jacob. He's our mate for, well, the rest of the game. And now we need to manage to avoid drowning, this time for real, because you cannot skip this part. And this part is, believe it or not, you just hold W again. You can save maybe a second or so to adjust your mouse, to adjust your aim a bit more up so you reach the surface faster, but it doesn't really matter, really. And here again, a cutscene you cannot skip because it fades directly perfectly into gameplay, I'll just guess, or that's also just a loading screen. I don't know, there are just some cutscenes you cannot skip. So yes, remember the hind D. Remember the hind D I was talking about earlier? Well, we saw it already, but hey, look at this. Lara, look behind you. Behind you? Yes, behind you. It's back. I'll have a suggestion, which is we'll just try to escape from this because this doesn't seem very safe to stay here. So we just run away from this, obviously, because NPC, villain, the aim is very good. Cannot hit a running Lara with rockets and a machine gun on the helicopter. So just a runaway section. But this time the hell... What? Okay, what was that? Well, I jumped too early. Wait, what was that? Oh dear. Alright. Doing the last like 10 seconds again. I don't know why Lara just went backwards there, but hey, if Lara wants to give an advantage to the villain, I guess that's fine. There we go. This time the helicopter is smart enough to shoot this thing, and we're in the water again. We're now they're gonna do a little bit of walking again. So if there are any new donations in, feel free to read them.
Nothing at the moment. So, but like I said, we do appreciate the generosity early on. It's a lot. It's a lot early on. We really do appreciate it. But nothing new to report.
All right. Okay, so here we have a chance of seeing the wolfies again, but they are not here. Oh, the wolfies aren't here. We'll see another crazy animal in a bit though. It's some tiger, or I don't actually know what that animal is. It's some big cat, some meow meow cat. Sadly it's a wild meow meow cat, so we can't pet it, and it wants to attack us. It's vibing up there. But also very good that we do not have to fight it. Speaking of, the developers missed a few invisible walls. There's just a hole in the map, so you can just walk out. And now we will be performing a trick called Skywalk, found by Luke Skywalker. If Lara slides down a slope, and we press twice the button, the direction she slides to, we will get animation stuck, kinda. And we're able to do that. Well, that's fortunate, because we just got an item here, which were the broadhead climbing arrows. We shouldn't even have them yet. This is not the part where we would get them. We would get those climbing arrows way later. So remember that. That I said this now, and I'll tell you when we should actually get them. Now we're gonna enter the mines, avoiding some cutscenes again, which is why these things are not loaded in. We can just walk in here. Very convenient. And here we need to get a trigger, still out of bounds, but we need to go very closely inbounds. So we see Lara's head going kind of inbounds already, and we need the place trigger. We need to see the abandoned mines. We need to see the game needs to notice us that we did enter the abandoned mines. Some triggers work in a way that you have 3 ways you can take a trigger in this game. It's either XP trigger, checkpoints trigger, or a loading trigger rather. Or the game tells you what place you are in, and this part works and this specific thing works that you need to get the place trigger, I just call it. So now we are in the mines. Here we need to do I think this is the first thing where we have to fight. Yeah, this might be the first fight we have to do, actually. Fight meaning we'll just stand here, wait for the rumble so it doesn't mess with my aim. This guy up there has armor on. And he died one shot. Why did he wear an armor? Well, this game is very realistic. Very realistic. Meaning, if an enemy wears armor on his head and we shoot his shoulder, it counts as a headshot and he'll die instantly. That is called a melee slide now. The last frame of a melee attack, if we press aim, we'll just slide. Also animation stuck. Which grants us a double jump midair basically, which you, for those who don't know, do not have. because again, this game is very realistic. I think I lied earlier, because I think this is also a part where you need very high FPS for an up clip. So this guy sadly has to go because he would be in our way. So this is the up clip. Oh, I got it. I don't know how, but hey, I got it. Okay, so there's a door at the end there. We'll see it. And we need to use specific weights, in this case an entire crane, to just open it up. So we'll just go up here and we need to fill this bucket below us with water, so it has even more weight. So we push this forward, this cart, for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 steps. You remember the rope we got earlier? This is how we can use this. How we can use it. Just push the rope onto this thing and just pull this bucket back until it's completely fully there. So now we can get this box here, craft some more arrows, and see that the door is open. So because this is glitched, we would have actually we would need to do this actually one more time, but it seems like that the door is open. So I guess it's fine, right? It shouldn't cause any troubles then. We're just gonna go through here and... Oh, the door is still there. Oh, it's not. It's Schrödinger's door? Well, door was there, but it doesn't matter, right? We got through, and that's what matters. So here we need to escape. We do not care for swimming again, because swimming is boring. We'll just... Oh, I'll say we'll just... Yes, we'll just go out of bounds, so we don't have to spend much time swimming. And just get over the water, kinda. With all that very convenient positioning of geometry we have there. I think that's the first kind of devastating checkpoint reset I had to do, because now we need to get to that point again, and that was pretty much the end already. Things happen. It's all fine. We're just trying to get back here once again. So what's a bit finicky with that clip out is that you, instead of clipping through one wall, you actually clip through like 3 or 4 layers of wall. So it's a bit more difficult than the usual just go through a wall clip. So here this spawns. Here we just jump. This is actually an area we do enter. It's just not loaded in at all. And once we get up this part, we need to walk backwards, because if I would look forward, nothing would load in. So we just go backwards and gonna do some walking. I see something happen, so Limes, feel free to read that out.
Matt, thank you for the raid. We appreciate that. And no new donations or anything at the moment, but we appreciate the generosity as usual. All bits, subs, and donations are going to go to Jaguar King and his wonderful family. So keep them coming.
Yes. So for those who just joined by, we're currently in the middle of a Rise of the Tomb Raider any percent glitch run on the PC version. I think I didn't say why PC is so important to mention. I'll just say I explained the FPS thing earlier, and consoles are just hard capped to 60 FPS. Oh, this part is something. We would now need to dive a long way. Unfortunately, we're soft locked. Or we aren't really. But we would be soft locked because we would need a scuba gear kind of thing to actually dive that much of distance. So we just go out of bounds. And if you remember what I said back in the Syria part, that the water texture doesn't look as big, and I could easily fall off. They just put a really big water thing over here so I can swim out of bounds, and I think that works. Skipping a lot of that. And this is probably the more boring part of the run because there's not too much happening. We'll just need to enter the flooded archives and make a statue fall over. I don't even know from a casual perspective anymore what you would need in the flooded archives, because the only reason you go there for the run is really just for plot reasons. So we go through this part here. Okay, so we'll see a big statue in the middle of the room in a bit. And we need to make that fall over. And how do we do that? We get a lot of explosion barrels and make our preparation with that. We need to get 2 barrels here because the first one will explode this barrier. Then we go down. Here we see the statue in the middle. We pull this barrel over here so it doesn't go completely to waste. If we get the checkpoint trigger, if we get the XP, yes, we got the XP. Sometimes the barrel will go into the flame barricade kind of thing. And we have to go back and do it again. And that's like, I would just spontaneously say a 1.5 minutes time loss. Fortunately, we didn't get this. Unfortunate event happening. And we're gonna take care of this now. Here we need 2 barrels again because this is a, what do you call this? It's a wage, I think is the word for it. And we need to get the same weight on basically 2 places. So this barrel actually goes up. We free this barrel and shoot that barrel, which is actually there from right at the beginning. If you shoot the barrels in the wrong order, you can soft lock yourself. So it's important that you shoot the left barrel first, the right barrel next, and we remember that very first barrel that's there. Again, we are soft locked. We cannot leave this area. Unfortunately, because the moment the statue falls, we'll have guards coming over, and these are very dangerous. So we would need to walk over the statue, up these stairs and all that. Well, because we don't have a rope attached to our axe, we need to find a way around it. How do we do this? We shoot the barrel right in front of the campfire. We press 5 again. A, we skip the cutscene, and press enter. And fast travel to the ridgeline. We'll see, I'm actually walking up the statue, and if we're gonna pay attention on the sound. There, we heard like some arrows falling. Those were the ancient guards that we now have woken up, kinda. And because I took too long, basically, they ended up killing me. We fast traveled to the ridgeline, but we're still here. Yes, we're just gonna get some upgrades, and the moment we leave this campfire, the fast travel actually will do its thing. So during the cutscene, we menued to the fast travel menu and did everything necessary. So this would normally be the part where we would leave the flooded archives. But because we need a trigger there, we need to go back. Just gonna go the same way back, get a trigger, and then we'll walk well back again because we cannot really fast travel there. And if you remember my explanation of checkpoints, here we need a XP checkpoint. Well, an XP trigger. Again, we don't have the rope axe, which would be really convenient for this, but since we don't have this, we need to perform a trick called tree jump, where we just do some axe climbs onto this tree, which sometimes can be very finicky because you You don't really have much space jumping off of this thing. I'm kind of choking right now, but it's fine. Ay, 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 Lara Croft, please jump. You should be able to do that, don't you? Okay, I'm... There we go. So yes, this is... I hate this. I wish we would have the rope axe for this part already, but we're gonna get it later. So this is my favorite cutscene skip. Because it's just so great because you can skip the cutscenes always at the same place. And you're able to skip that one cutscene right after Jonah says you look terrible, and then you skip the cutscene. That is so funny. And if you remember the arrows we got earlier after the skywalk, we are now at the place where we would actually get them. So here we are. You might remember this place. So here is the box, or well, it's not a box, but like, it's like a chest, kinda. And now Jonah got kidnapped, so we have to get him back. We're just doing the parkour the game forces us to do. We need to do all of this right now. We used to just walk straight ahead, but this bridge is kinda... I'll just say some runs die on this bridge. Kinda something like KL bridge for those MGS2 runners, that the bridge just kinda collapses below you. I'm not sure if going up top is much faster, but it does its job. It definitely does its job. Oh, gonna do it a bit safer here. And here we have steep snow, so we might not be able to jump if we're doing it wrong, but we did it quite correct that we would roll even further into the steep snow and would get quicker to this cutscene. So this is now we will have a very long series of out of bounds, and you might not even be able to see anything. So first we're gonna do an up clip up here. Now we have something that's called Ghost Walk. Lara's model is up top, but our camera is on the bottom. We need to get on one stage basically again with the camera and Lara, which is conveniently right here. So now we interrupted the Ghost Walk. What a Ghost Walk does is it basically, if we jump, we would basically be on the position of the camera, so it would just fall down and die, and I would have to do this entire part again. Which is good that we can interrupt this Ghost Walk here. Going into the snow forest, and this is the part where you might not be able to see anything. Learning this part is really exhausting. The moment I've learned this game, I had the runner Lemi teaching me this, and we were doing it via Discord screen share, and he would like say, okay, well, next thing you do, you walk to the tree. What tree? We are in a snow forest, and I have a leaf in my face. What tree? But yeah, fortunately, now I know where to go. We need to get a few triggers here, which I got already, and now no concerns for you anymore, because now there is no vision that will be blocked anymore. We just do a jump over there on this rooftop. So yes, this is a very scary out of bounds. Not because it's entirely not because it's really difficult. It's more about the length of this entire out of bounds. Like if I would die here, and there is risk of dying in a moment, if I lose just the slightest amount of height, I will be touching a death plane. And then I would have to do this entire thing again. So now I will not be jumping, because if I lose any more height, well, besides now I'll be jumping, but if I would lose any more height, I would just touch death zones all over. And that's not very convenient. So here we skipped again a lot of things, leading into another fight actually again. Yes, we'll have one of that again. This is called Terrible Fight because this fight used to be terrible. Luckily, we now have strats for it. We go to the right side here. We kill this guy. We're gonna kill this guy. Going to the right, crafting a bomb with this thing, which will blow up all these guards. We're gonna hold our aim on that thing. Let it explode as soon as the right guard is coming down, and we're just gonna give them the last blow, and that's Terrible Fight. It's not terrible. I actually love this. It is so fun to do. So this is Jonah. He got kidnapped for saying you look terrible, probably. Always be nice to your friends. Remember that. But fortunately, we did brought him back. I don't know why, but again, there are like just a few cutscenes we cannot skip, and 50% of those are just how the game just zooms into a mountain or anything. Like really peak content. So now we'll be doing Orrery skip, instantly leading into another skip. We now have some crazy Gary Smart textures going on here. We have to do a melee slap, please. We need to line up real quick again. Boop, boop, boop. Ay. Lara Croft, please do the thing. Yes, alright. Now we have the melee slap. We need to get the place trigger, which we didn't get. This is a bit finicky. Because there are just so many things you have to pay attention on. You need the right angle. And all that. And it sometimes is a really difficult thing. Okay. Since I'll be figuring that out, I'll just say, if there are any new things to report, you can go ahead.
Sure. We had earlier 101 bits from House Test. So like, when are we getting a Metal Gear? And then jokes aside, you're crushing it. Great run, Val. And then Scott with the Prime sub. Take my Prime. Thank you very much.
This trick is kind of trolling me. I did do some practice on this because just of how many things there can go wrong here. Also, kind of background notes. I am running this from House Test setup right now because my own PC cannot handle Tomb Raider live on stream for some reason anymore. So I also have to get used to a new DPI, basically. It sounds like a weak excuse, but it's, especially in a game like that, which goes for many visual lineups, it is a big thing. Now we got the place trigger, which was the Orrery, and now we just jump all the way up top of this. There is a second variant, which I would have done if we would have stuck to this place a few more times. Fortunately, I did got it. Yes. We're going into the water so we don't just fall. Here again, very nice collisions we can just use. Here we just jump into the void, do some bit of pause buffering. So we skip a dialogue. So this is now the path of the Deathless. Remember the guards we were avoiding with the with the fast travel we had earlier during the cutscene. But now we'll actually be seeing them. We'll place an arrow right below this white bar and just jump here. They're just cosmetic. They're just... they don't care that we're here. Obviously, this is a very big out-of-bounds section. There would be an invisible wall that would spawn the moment we would grab onto this white bar. But if you don't grab it, the invisible wall does not spawn. Just why we were able to get here. Here we need to make an aerial jump to get an XP trigger very close to death plane as well. Oh. This is also a very big run killer if you miss it. There, we got it. And oh yeah, we also got the rope axe now. The game just kinda assumes you to have it at some point, so it just gives you it. Oh, please, Lara. Lara Croft, would you kindly? Thank you very much. Finger up clip here. Climb, jumping on this ice thing. Oh. Come on. So, another melee slide. This is where we see the double jump. We just switch the weapon mid-air, and right after that we'll have a double jump. This trick is supposed to be easy, but sometimes it just doesn't work. I hate this trick. Ay, please, please, please. Yes, so this is it. So we have this guy who just resets himself all the time. From what I've understood so far, this is literally just a spawner. So we can just aim up, and that will push our... We can just aim up like this, and for some reason that will make Lara be also more up. And please, Lara, can also do another variant of this, where we would just aim and turn ourselves. Ay. There we go. There, our hitboxes can be a bit squishy, so we can just squish through here. Oh god. And another melee slide, believe it or not. The good thing about this is also we can... I don't think during the melee slide, if I would have just continued the sliding down, I wouldn't even have died. So it also doesn't give me any fall damage if I stay animation stuck. Oh, and that was Path of the Deathless. Now we actually will join the hidden city of Kitash, which I mentioned at the start, what Lara saw in that one cutscene there. And we'll, believe it or not, we'll actually go out of bounds there. We'll actually do it. I know we barely did it, but now there's like... Now we're gonna be like actually able to do it, to go out of bounds. So this is the hidden city of Kitash. Wow. Oh no, wait, yeah, this is the Chamber of Souls. Oh well, behind there is Chamber of... I actually do not know. It's been 3 years since I played the story. But yes, Lara says the way to the like city center leads through that gate. We don't listen to Lara, so we'll just not go there. We're just not gonna do that. We will head to it though. We'll go into this direction. Okay, look, chat. We're gonna troll Lara. We'll make her believe that we will go through there. But what we'll do then instead, we're just gonna do some axe climbs up here, and this is out of bounds already. Well, I guess we won't go to the city center. I'm just gonna do some movement to our next campfire. Oh. All right. I think I need to... Yes, we need to go there again by a bit.
Alarmglocken. Die sollte ich ausschalten.
All right. Going up here again. For those who missed a rare out-of-bounds moment. All right. So since this is also gonna be walking just now, if there's anything new to report, feel free to mention.
Yeah, Repeat spent 50,000 channel points to get a free sub to the channel, which does count towards a sub for Jag. So thank you very much for generosity and spending your hard-earned nuts.
So here we need to do a somewhat weird upclip by switching our weapons. It kind of changes our hitbox a bit and can push us up, which we'll see in a bit again. Also, 100 FPS, why that's useful. The main reason, I'll just say, for its usefulness will be a thing in a bit. 100 FPS is a high number, isn't it? Now imagine I now have to do something that's frame perfect on 100 FPS. So first we get up here. Well, remember the very first thing where Lara just was like, I'm a head outs. I can now walk in the air. I'm not talking about the skywalk, I'm talking about the airwalk, right at the start of the run, if you remember. So with the rope axe, we can trigger this manually without switching, without leaving the game and reloading, basically. This might have been it. Yes, this is it. If we hit the axe onto the ledge at the right moments, we are able to do this. We're not able to jump because if we jump, we will lose. It will basically interrupt it and we'll just fall. Now why are 100 FPS so important for this? You can still do it on a 60 FPS or even 30 FPS, but the reason why high FPS is so important is because of, we'll just say the lower your FPS is, the faster your height decreases. And as soon as we climb up this mountain, we need to travel a long distance just with that skywalk. I will also make use of the weapon switch climbing up the mountain. Come on. So yeah, people on console do that too, actually. But because consoles are hard locked on 60 FPS, they need to jump off of this state of skywalk earlier. For us on PC, I can just go straight ahead in this line. There's a campfire at the end which we need to sit down to load in the next area, and we're now skipping everything which we see on the left there. Everything. A lot of parkour, a lot of fighting, a lot of cutscene even, most likely. So yeah, this is a very good skip. They used to do something very much different before this has been discovered. Fortunately, I missed that part because I've been told that was horrible. And again, we see this part on the left now. Console players would go to the left now and would jump down here. But again, 100 FPS PC. Here it is, the campfire. You can see how my height decreases. And if I just jump, I'm grounded again. Or well, I will like fall down basically. Getting onto the campfire to load in this next area. And now, get ready, chat, get ready, chat. Is that an arena? Surely nothing bad is gonna... Oh, never mind. Who are you? Well, we have to find the Hind D.
Konstantin.
Very menacing.
Sophia.
We'll have support, luckily, from Sophia, which we never saw in the game, and she will fire occasional fireballs, but that's not gonna be the main part of the fight. It's mainly gonna be that wave. We need to remember a specific order, which in this case now is left, middle, left, middle, right, explosion arrow, middle, right, left. Oh, there was one more guy. And we got the first phase done. So yeah, once this chopper arrives again here, we will reload the checkpoint. This is the second RNG part, basically. What we want to do here is you want to forward scramble into this wall, and hopefully the chopper stays there. He can fly behind, which will make things finicky, but because he's nice, we got the good limeade RNG. He'll stay there, which will make it very easy for the fireball to fly over it, for us to shoot it, and be done with second phase of this chopper. So there we have another order we have to follow again. It's left, it's middle twice actually. Again, and then it's instantly right side. And there the people will kind of spread more. They will be sometimes even down there, like now. Sometimes they're gonna be on the top. Oh, that guy's not supposed to be there actually. And that was that was this part. Now we're gonna have the real chopper fight. For the thread I go for, we will collect these herbs. We'll wait for the leaf to appear on the right side, and then we're gonna reload the checkpoint. What that does is the chopper is gonna be down here. We can restock explosive arrow on this part here. And we got down the chopper. Now we're in the last arena, but not of our last fight. Oh dear. So these are supposed to be invincible. Oh dear. This is very dangerous right now. These are supposed to be invincible guards, but they are one hit with the blue fire, which is very conveniently at the top here everywhere. Oh, this is a... So we can just lure them over here. There's one other should get here. And there we go. Now we're gonna go to the end boss, which is Konstantin. So he's gonna just appear from the back. He's gonna start shooting at us. He took away all our weapons. So we need to use... Well, we need to be kinda stealthy. He's stupid enough to just turn around, so we're able to give him hit number 1. Gonna distract him with this can. He's gonna turn around because he heard the can, and this was the last hit. Time is not coming up yet. But this was the real boss fight. I don't consider him the real boss fight because the chopper is much harder actually. So to accelerate this process, obviously skipping the cutscene and firing one arrow into his chest, reloading, and time is coming up as soon as I will go through this door and the cutscene starts playing. So time is coming up now. Yeah, that was Rise of the Tomb Raider, any % glitched on the PC version. pretty okay run. It was a good run actually.
Hey, you ended up with a 104.05, so well under the estimate. Good job. Good job.
That's nice.
So yeah, anything you want to say before we go back to intermission?
Of course, thanks for having me for Limit 4.0 as a starter due to schedule changes, but still appreciate it. Yes, thanks for having me. If you want to see more of myself, I do speedruns, I do casual gameplay on my own Twitch, which is Valeria Chan. It's linked in the title, if I remember correctly. Valerie AAA_Chan. If you wanna just drop a follow, I'll stream kinda actively. And yeah, I think that was everything.
Alrighty, so we're going to take a quick break. We're going to send you an intermission and get set up for the next run, so do stay tuned, and we'll be back here in just a